Welcome to Barbie's Bitch House.
So this is season 3. It has been a while. It's been maybe since like late April, early May since we last recorded. It is now June 10th and it's summertime. I drove all the way up here so we could do this and hang out and I could do homework. And this time we're doing Bill Badger 2. And one thing I find interesting about it is that Bill Badger 2, like the cover, Bill's hot now.
Yeah, Bill's not really ugly now.
Like, he could fuck me. And this other one looks like Natalie Nunn. And I'm just like, and we are going to read the last, like, few sentences of the first book, because the second book leads directly from that. So, we'll just go ahead and do that real quick as a refresher. Veronica carefully circled Bill, letting her nipples scrape across his slowly sweating body.
I forgot.
I forgot about that. She watched the sweat bead run down to the top of his ass, where it collected and disappeared down the void between his legs. Bill stood stock still. All he could do... Hold on. I'm going to try and open this so we can go right into book 2. It was all he could do as his cock throbbed and throbbed, desiring the attention it demanded. Chapter 1. Bill steadied himself. After all, he thought, this was a medical procedure. The number 2 stud test was surely used throughout the medical world. This was not one of his clients trying to take him for their own personal satisfaction and demanding that he should fuck them senseless. Dr. Stud's hardened nipples continued to massage his back. It felt so good. Was she a masseuse in a previous life, he wondered? Like, while your nipples massaged me, were you a masseuse?
I imagine, okay, hear me out. I imagine, like, you know those little doll hands? I'm imagining that, but those are her fucking nipples, and it's like, you know what I'm thinking.
It's like, ooh. Ooh, what's getting me? Oh, let's see. He relaxed him for the first time in his living memory. He relaxed him for the first time in his living memory. His big cock relaxed with him. He looked down at it. He looked down at it where it lay.
He looked down at it.
Like it's a worm. It lays there.
Like it's a worm.
He looked down at it where it lay. I already got sweat on this book. This is going to be fitting of what this whole book's probably going to be like. Sweat and shame. He looked down at where it lay. Happy, peaceful, contented, and very flaccid.
Very flaccid. Not just flaccid, but like...
Very flaccid, bitch.
The dick sickle flaccid. Like, you seen that video?
It was... It was as if a vampire had sucked all the living blood out of it. Bill smiled inwardly, whilst he continued to relax and waited for Dr. Stud's emergence from behind his back. Veronica Stud was enjoying herself for the first time in absolutely ages. If she was truthful with herself, it would be eons. She knew
I'm just remembering that her chair smells like tuna fish.
That was so gross. That made me want to kill myself when we first read it, because her fucking back of her gown was wet, and I'm like, you're filthy. Go kill yourself,
You're
Veronica.
like, you nasty bitch. You don't clean.
Your ass. And your ass. Anyways, she knew her filthy plan had worked, and she continued to score Bill's back with her nipples. Scoring? That's like when you cut a fucking fruit. That's... Scoring Bill's back with her nipples, sometimes laying the flat of her breasts at a further heightening of his enjoyment. Her mind swooned and her body began to slowly orgasm as she became one with Bill and his perfectly formed ass.
His perfectly formed ass.
It was so sensual, so firm.
So sensual.
So male.
So man.
She brought her face down to his buttock level. Ah!
She's gonna eat his ass!
She brought her face down to his buttock level and started to lavishly lick with increasing delight. She worked her way down his sweat-lined, glistening crack with her tongue until she found his asshole. Gently, oh so gently, she pushed... Gently, oh so gently, she pushed it through the restraining muscle, waiting for the cry of excitement from Bill's mouth and the inevitable release of semen from his pent-up balls. Bill breathed in deeply. What the fuck was this asshole of a sex therapist doing with his asshole? Whatever it was, he was so pleased at the conduct of his big cock. Not a movement had it made since those stringent nipples had totally relaxed him. So her nipples are like horse tranquilizers. He's just immediately relaxed. He thought on about the stud number 2 test. This was surely it. and he'd responded magnificently. For the first time in his sexually active life, his cock had been able to relax, stand down, and reside happily in a normal state.
So you're telling me this bitch is licking his inside asshole and he's like, not even hard?
Bill has real problems. I love how the cock is like a character. Like, it was happy and it laid in this little grass. It's grassy pubes. It nest of pubes. Bill was elated. Surely, he thought. He'd passed all tests without needing any more. What else could Dr. Stud find wrong with him? Oh my fucking God. Veronica took her last longing deep lick of Bill's ass and squatted down behind him. She quickly pulled aside her thong, rubbed her clit for a simple second, and found herself squirting onto her beautifully carpeted floor. God, she thought.
Not even the chair? The fucking carpet.
She's like, that chair stinks enough. We need to make this carpet smell like shit. God.
Do you think someone goes in there? Well, no. Like someone goes in there and be like, it smells like tuna in here. And she's like
looking around like, oh.
She's like,
I made tuna fish casserole. Son slips on the squirt. Oh!
Bill just fucking eats shit.
Sorry, someone just mopped my carpet. Let's see. She pulled aside her thong, rubbed her clit for a simple second, and found herself squirting onto her beautifully carpeted floor. God, she thought, that action alone was another $200 worth of weekend cleaning bills, but oh so worth it. She gently staggered to her feet, glad she'd kicked off the 4-inch heels she'd been wearing that afternoon. Veronica gave herself a few seconds to anticipate the next level of nirvana Bill Badger was about to give her. After all, the stud number 2 test was totally demanding of both parties, and that she'd been very careful to explain in detail on his previous visit. Veronica imagined his now granite-hardened cock sliding into her slick vagina, bumping against her glistening clit. This is just buzzword after buzzword. Bumping into her glistening clit, against her glistening clit, and onward up to somewhere north of her ovaries. Up somewhere north. How rewarding that one initial...
Is it bad I'm thinking about a kolache right now?
What the fuck is that?
It's like a... It's a bakery good where there's a weenie in it with cheese.
With cheese? Ew, that sounds gross.
You ever had a kolache?
No, I'm not a faggot. I am a faggot, but...
I was like, you never had a kolache? They're really good. It's like all baked in there. Anyway.
How rewarding that one initial fuck from Bill Badger was going to be. Ambrosia from the gods.
This is her.
I shouldn't have put this rat in my vagina. Squeeze harder or come.
That's her.
It's literally Veronica. That was like an episode meme of that app. Let's see. Ambrosia from the gods is fucking crazy. Ambrosia from the gods could be no better, and now she was going to achieve it. Veronica put her hands on her totally sodden thong and pulled it slowly down around her supple, long legs. Her right foot released one side, and her left flicked it onto the desk. It slowly slid to the floor, and I'm just imagining it's like a snail trail where it's like... Her right foot, it slowly slid to the floor and rested there, oozing her body juices. Whatever, she thought, that bloody thong could behave how it wanted. Why is everything a character? His cock or thong? Whatever, she thought, that bloody thong could behave how it wanted. Now it's her first primeval experience with a gigantium Bill Badger's cock. Seconds ticked away. I thought I said tickled away. Seconds ticked away as Veronica walked around to Bill's front and looked him in the eye. Bill, thank you for being a model patient. Veronica inspected him professionally with her alert eyes. Good God, she breathed as she saw his totally flaccid penis for the first time. What's going on? She asked in a stuttering voice. She's so upset about his penis being flaccid. Bill smiled and spoke. Isn't it wonderful, Dr. Stud? You've succeeded in relaxing me to the point of total sexual inactivity. You're simply a genius. That has to make her feel like shit. She's like, wow, you've managed to make me not horny at all. You've made my dick so not hard that it's like inside of me. Veronica crumpled up inside... Veronica crumpled up inside, stifling a heart-rending sob. She'd been so looking forward to an intense fucking from this well-hung young man, and now it wasn't going to happen. She collapsed onto her chair, oh, not the chair, and thought of some way out of the situation. Then it came to her in a stunning flash of realization. The stud number 3 test. Of course, how absolutely stupid and unprofessional of her not to follow up a very successful outcome to the stud number 2 test.
Do you think she does this to every patient?
I feel like she does. Her needs to have her license taken away. She lay back as far as she could safely do so. Do they give sex therapists licenses? There's no fucking way. She lay back as far as she could safely do so and splayed her legs until her vagina gaped open. That vagina said, ah! So her vagina gaped open and her partially hooded clit was totally exposed. Bill, she instructed, as we've made sufficient progress on the number 2 test, we're rapidly moving on to test 3. Bill shrugged his shoulders and acquiesced. Just tell me what to do, Dr. Stud. Veronica replied quickly. She could feel her orgasm being rejuvenated. Get on all fours and crawl over to me. Suck my clitoris with all your worth and don't stop until I instruct you.
With all your worth.
All your worth. Suck my clitoris. Like the full, biological term. Bill nodded and did as she said. This part he might actually enjoy, as Dr. Stud was very well endowed in the sex department of her body. As he started to suck and teeth her clit. Teeth her clit. That's... Ugh. With all his years of accumulated knowledge, he felt a stirring in his lower body. Something had woken up out of its recently induced torpor. Fuck you, he thought. I knew you wouldn't want to miss any of the action. Bill continued his annihilation of Dr. Veronica Stud's clitoris unabated. Annihilation is so funny. She started to squirm gently, and her breath started to come in larger and larger gasps. Bill grabbed her hips, now slicked in sweat, and used his strength to keep her still. He needed a movement-free zone in which to carry out his instructions, and he didn't fancy her chastisement if she slipped out of his grasp and potentially fell onto the floor. He mentally thanked his father Harold for all the training he'd punched into him concerning the health and safety aspect of any of his actions. Veronica didn't know it, but she'd be safe in Bill's large hands more than she could have thought. However, as a result of Veronica becoming wetter and wetter, Bill had to increase not only his pace of tongue abrasion, but also his level of sucking so that her clit was always getting an incessant flow of increasing stimulation. These books make me tired because these people just keep going and going and going. Bill was good at these skills. After all, he'd practiced 2 or 3 times a day. On what? What has he fucking practiced on? Still, nothing could last forever, and he quickly came to realize as Veronica started to gently scream that his time of clit inducement would soon be over. Bill Badger's cock had now fully risen, and that meant only one thing for Dr. Veronica Stud. She was going to have herself totally fucked after all. Okay, that was the end of the chapter, so what do we think of it? It was just like every other chapter.
Yeah.
So next time, Maddie is going to read chapter 2. Make sure to like and subscribe for more episodes and stream seasons 1 and 2. Okay, bye guys.
Bye.